Hi everyone, welcome to another of our Sport Science Support series videos. Today I'm going to be talking about competition recovery. I hope you all enjoyed the nice weather we had over the bank holiday weekend and managed to get out for some exercise, some sunlight. And today's video from me is actually going to be quite short because competition recovery, although it's very, very important, it's not too much different to training recovery, but there are some bits that will be different. So we're going to go through those, and then Kate's video on Wednesday will go through how to get adequate sleep at competitions. I'll touch on a little bit of it, but not a lot, because she'll go into more detail on Wednesday. So, competition recovery. So, the better your recovery, the more consistently you'll swim throughout the meet. So this image here, a lot of the guys in performance will recognise this. This is from the timeline, swim timeline that they have. And this is their recovery protocol, or the skeleton of their recovery protocol, which they then go and add in the detail for. So I'm just going to go through each part and explain why all of them are important and what they should involve. So, within 8 minutes of finishing their race, they do a 200-metre easy swim. So this is called an immediate flush. So they're getting out the race, getting their stuff, and then jumping straight in the warm-down pool. This keeps blood flow high, which is really important to get oxygen to our muscles, which are have been starved of oxygen and really need to recover. Avoids lactic acid pooling in the muscles. So lactic acid is the waste product that you'll produce in a race, and it can be really harmful for the muscles if it's not correctly dealt with. If lactic acid pools in the muscle, then you get things like you could faint. It's very, very intrusive, so you've got to try and get that out as quickly as you can. It starts the recovery process, like we said, the increase of oxygen delivery, and it actually allows the mind to reset and refocus. If you get out of a race and you're feeling, you might not have had the race that you wish for, you could start to feel quite stressed, quite upset, quite tense. If you go in to the warm down pool and you get that 200 easy swim done, you can actually start to think about what you're going to say to your coach and do it in a controlled way. Then within 12 minutes, so getting out of the warm down pool, changing out of your racing suit. Now this has physical benefits, but it's also quite important for the racing suit itself. So, allows greater range of relaxed motion. So as we know, racing suits are tight, they're constrictive. Once you get that off, you'll be able to get more range of motion in the warm down pool. Further enhances blood flow, reduces the amount of time the suit is stretched for. So this is the major one. Racing suits are meant to be worn only in a race. So if you're warming up and warming down in your racing suit, it's actually causing them damage. And when they're on you, they're stretched in a stretched position. So the longer you have it on in that position, the more that position will start to take effect, and it will lose its race quality. So the more you wear it, the less effective it becomes. So try not to warm up or warm down in it. Okay, so now we move on to within 16 minutes having a snack. So you've changed out of your suit. It's now time to have something light to eat. Why should we do this? So the quicker you're able to get fuel on board, the better your recovery will be. So after a race, whatever you put into your body, it will use and it will store. So replenish stores of energy used in the race, so that you're ready and you're fueled for the next race. Allows muscles to soak up the energy and rebuild, repair. Replaces important electrolytes lost in sweat. So you will sweat a lot during a race and before a race in the warm-up area. You'll get nice and warm, but you will sweat. So these electrolytes are really, really important to keep your body in balance. So you get those in quickly, then that restores your body back to homeostasis, which is an important place to be. And like we said, the quicker you're able to get the good fuel on board to replace what your body's lost, the easier you'll be able to recover and the better your races will be. So a full swim down. So 60% of your muscle mass is below the waist. So you've got to keep your legs moving to aid recovery. A full swim down will maintain blood flow, increase lactate oxidation. So this means that the lactic acid that you've got in your muscles from that race, you feel heavy, you feel tired, you can use the oxygen to resynthesize it back into usable energy for your next race. So you can use that lactic acid, turn it back into energy that you can use for your next race. That's why a swim down is really important. You can go through the range of motion that you had in the race, so you can pump more blood through the muscles, oxygen and nutrients, which can allow the above process to happen. And it helps to bring the heart rate back to resting levels. So a lot of people will swim down until their heart rate is, for example, under 120. So a swim down will lower that heart rate down, bring it back to its resting level, which then helps the heart get back to where it should be and recovery to start and bringing it back to where it should be. So we touched on this a lot in our last presentation, but foam rolling again at competition is really important. So foam rolling as part of your timeline recovery will prevent soreness and tightness. The friction will keep the muscles warm, so your recovery will last longer and you don't get that hot and cold sensation in the muscles between your races. So if you're coming out of the warm down pool, sitting down for ages and then not moving until your next race, you're not going to be in a good place. So you need to keep that recovery going as much as you can for as long as you can without it starting to become a hindrance. Like I said, maintain muscle temperature between races. So, post-competition nutrition. Now this is a big one. Don't forget about the 30-minute window. So the 30-minute window we spoke about for post-training nutrition, it applies here too. So if you have to wait around after your race, for example for a presentation, make sure you've had a snack within 30 minutes of your last race. If you've got a long drive to the venue and have a long gap between finishing racing and having your dinner, either prepare your dinner beforehand and eat it on the way home, or bring enough snacks to fuel you until you reach home. So snacks could be, for the way home, could be, for example, banana, piece of flapjack or cereal bar, and then that milk or chocolate milk. The quicker you eat your meal, the better. The quicker all of that good stuff gets into you, the better chance you have of storing it, having it go to your muscles overnight so that in the morning you're ready to race again. If you're in a hotel, try and find somewhere to eat that will offer healthy meals. Avoid the temptation of dessert. So places that do good meals with lots of vegetables, lots of choice, lots of variety, aren't too greasy, aren't too salty, aren't too fatty, those kind of things. But also are giving you the nutrients you need to recover. So like we said last time, the carbs, the proteins. In the morning, avoid a full English at breakfast. They are stodgy, they are fatty, they are greasy, and they do not prepare you for race. All that recovery that you would have done will be ruined and you will feel terrible. Avoid treat meals. So a lot of people, if you say you're at a 2-day meet, Saturday you swim amazingly well, you swim so well, you're late coming home, it's about 9 o'clock, you're still in the car, you say, look, let's just stop and get McDonald's, let's just stop and get pizza. Try and avoid that reward of unhealthy because it becomes a habit, and like we said, whatever your body gets in at that time, your muscles are still sponge-like, it will just soak it up and it will store it. So avoid stopping at fast food places on the way home, especially on the Saturday night. It will set back your recovery, you'll not be in a place to swim well the next day. And remember, your muscles are like a sponge, so that unhealthy food your body will try and use it when you race the next day, and it won't race as well as it could do. So have a meal rich in both protein and carbohydrates to allow proper recovery, and hydrate as much as you can. That is important. So like you said before, water will carry the nutrients to the muscle. So water, if you're not drinking it, you need to be, because that's your transport mechanism. It's like the train track for the train. Sleep. Now I'm only going to say a few things because I know Kate's going to do a presentation on this on Wednesday, but just to touch on some top tips. If you aren't racing until the afternoon on the second day, so the Sunday, don't let yourself lie in for too long. Keep to your normal wake-up routine, get your body moving early, do some extra mobility work, go for a walk, things like that. Adrenaline can make it hard to fall asleep the night before you race. Practice techniques help you keep relaxed before bed. Try not to think about the races too much if that's stressing you out. You don't want to be up all night because you're worrying about your race plan. It should be to the point where before you race you don't even need to think about it because it's just so second nature. Stick as much as you can to your normal routine so your body is used to it and it won't cause any stress or unexpected changes. It's the same thing where we say on race day don't eat any foods that you're not familiar with. It's the same thing. Try not to do anything that you're not familiar with that could cause your body some unnecessary stress. And last little bit, so foam rolling and mobility for recovery at competitions. Your roller should be your best friend. When you get home, if you ever have time to use it, do a bit more rolling for extra recovery work. Enhance the process. Focus on anything that feels like it needs some TLC. If anything's feeling a bit tired, tight, niggly, give it a bit of a roll, give it a bit of a massage. You want to try and keep your body as mobile as possible over the weekend and avoid tightening up too much. So if you've been sitting down for a long time, you've not got a race for a while, go somewhere quiet, have a nice roll. It'll make you feel a lot better. When you wake up in the morning, so like I said, if you're not racing till the afternoon, do a bit more rolling, but if not, find some time when you get to the venue, so before warm up, to make sure you get that little bit in because it will make such a big difference. Okay. So, I hope that was helpful. As ever, if you've got any questions, post them in the comments or email us at gcscquestions and we will get back to you. I hope that you enjoyed Kate's video on Wednesday and I'll see you next Monday for another video. Thank you.